Okay, so I have a FLIR infrared camera. I've had it for a while. The thing is actually really good. It's an E4. And there's the door that's uninsulated. All right. It's the door is 50, 57, and the surrounding is 72. All right, so let's go in this lower attic, and you can see what I've done here and what I still have to do. I mean, I could feel a draft coming through right there. Typically what I do is I seal this off in the winter, but then it makes it hard to get into here. All right, so here is we have a lower attic and an upper attic. And here it's probably ambient temperature today, which is in the 30s. It's probably 20 right now. So here's what I did to this wall. I used this foam, and I still have to actually do it. I have to do something from here to here. I haven't figured out what. I think if I do just the door, it's not gonna work. I'd like to do something around this framed area. Maybe I can cut something exactly to this shape, and then I can pull it, and then I can put like a little handle on it and just pull it again, like tight against here, and somehow adhere it to the top and the bottom. But I have to think about that. All right, so we'll see. I have plenty of stuff over here to do that with. It's just a matter of cutting it. All right, so let me think about this and I'll be right back. So I think what I have to do is accurately measure from this foam across to this foam, from the header over here down to this footer over here, and make a cutout that goes across the whole thing. The other option is to go from joist to joist. That would require me to cut this out. You know what? That might be a better option. I'm just thinking. Damn. You know what? Maybe I'll do joist to joist and just cut this little piece off right there. That gives me a lot more wiggle room, considering this stuff is thick and I can sit it all the way out here. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. And somehow I'm gonna attach it in there. All right, let me go get a measure. All right, I'm in the basement of my house. I'm gonna show you how to glue a couple pieces of these styrofoam insulation together. These are tongue and groove. I'm gonna insulate a door in a lower attic that happens to be in one of my kids' bedrooms. I'm gonna use this Gorilla Glue, straight from Home Depot. It expands, so you have to clamp everything together and put some weight on it. I happen to have these bar clamps from woodworking projects, but even if you don't have them, just put something heavy on it, put it between, let's say, a wall and either put your car right next to it or some, a couple of heavy things so it can expand, and you'll be good to go. All right, so according to the instructions, first thing I'm doing is putting some gloves on because this stuff is wicked sticky and disgusting. So I'll put some gloves on, and the instructions, this is my second time through this. The first time I didn't cut it so well, and it worked really well, the gluing part, so I'm just making this quick tape, or video, whatever you want to call it. I'm showing my age, tape. So as per the instructions, what you want to do is you want to wet one side, and you want to put the glue on the other side. I guess the water activates the glue. I never realized that, which is, I guess, why I never had success with this stuff. So let me put this little tripod down over here. And let's see if you can follow this along. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet down one side using this paper towel right here and this water, all right? So I'm gonna do it pretty liberally. In other words, I'm putting a lot on, all right? I think it's easier to put the water into the female in this particular instance, as they say. All right, so. And I'll put the glue on this side, on the male. All right, so here's what it looks like. I hate to touch this. Let me touch the back of this. All right, so it kind of looks like this. See, the glue's all over the place, but especially in the center. I mean, there's some areas that have no glue, but all right. So now, you know what? I guess I'm gonna take off the other glove. Put the camera down. So now what I'm gonna do is join the two sections and clamp them. Easy as 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so come down like this, in there. I'm gonna do kind of what you would do if you were doing woodwork and kind of slide them a little bit. All right, so I have a piece of wood here because there's a nail for it. Stick this here. Now I'm gonna clamp them down. All right, and then we'll be done. So I'll put something with a little bit of weight on here. What I used before that worked really well were these. They're empty. Pretty, I would say they weigh maybe 6 or 7 pounds, maybe 10. All right, that's it. Okay, it's about 3 hours later now. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, now it's 6:30. So this is done. I just came down and I felt the glue as hard as a rock. All right, so here's how this came out. So it's about 2 hours later and the glue is set now. This glue is hard as a rock and it's sticking out a little bit on the side. So depending on what you were doing, like if you were doing something where the way it looks is extremely important, maybe you want to put a little less glue on. But for my purposes, this will be totally fine. All right, so this is completely bonded together. Let's see the other side. Yeah, same thing on the other side. So it oozed through a little bit. This is maybe like a 1/4 of an inch. All right. Hopefully it's not gonna fall. Guys, calm down. So the dimensions are 57 1/4 by 30 3/4. Probably about an inch. So the score line is right here. Not too bad. All right. That's pretty good. All right. This is starting to mess up. Starting to not work out. I think I'm just gonna leave one on the floor here. All right, so we got the piece. All right, let's bring it up to the attic and see what happens. What I have to do is cut out a little bit for the bottom. Carefully. Actually, this is great. Actually, let's see if the top fits. All right. So the question is, which way do we want to do it? Doesn't really matter. What I have to cut out. I think maybe if I go on the inside, I could trace. If I go inside, I can maybe take a knife and trace what I have to cut out. Since this is gonna have to be cut out, it's foolish. All right, so I can just eyeball this. All right, so with it leaning, with it approximately like this, wish I had a head thing now. I really had to cut kind of like here and like that. I have to take out, let's call it a 1/2 inch up to there. All right, so here's where we are in this mess. All right, I got it. I went upstairs to the attic right when my battery ran out. I got it to fit by making a little channel here like that in the bottom. Now what I have to do, so it's gonna pull, this is gonna be the inside part right here. Break it while I'm at it. So what I have to do is I have to have a way to pull it closed from inside my house. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking a couple of, they can't be too heavy, but I have to get a couple of pieces of, thick pieces of wood and put some kind of either string or some kind of metal something and make holes so that you kind of pull it through from the back. If I put one on the top and one on the bottom, okay, so I put some more handles on here. I think it's easier to try to pull the sides in. This is getting heavier and heavier. So I think the best way to do this is to do the bottom first. Put the bottom into this string. Let me see here. Just a little bit, teeny bit high, like right there. I could take about a 1/16 of an inch off a hair over here. That'd be perfect. Okay, so I brought it down. I'm gonna try to get rid of like high point, like high spot, like right around there. Maybe this whole area here. All right, so this is where I ruined the whole thing. I hope I'm wrong about that. I'll heat it up and we'll see what happens. Here goes probably nothing right now. All right, so let's see, there's this. All right, so I'm just gonna see if I can gently flatten this down a little bit. I think either way I'm done running up and down the stairs for today. All right, so here's how we're ending up. This is, let me make it a little lighter. All right, so we're pretty flush against the bottom. I had to cut something out. There's no air at all coming through here. The top, there's a little bit of a gap, but this is 2 inches wide, so it's definitely closed. It's definitely sealed off. It's 1,000 times better than it was. 1,000 times. So I'm happy with it. My initial thought was to maybe put a little something in between here. I'm not convinced that I'm not going to, but this is great. Great. Battery thing's flashing. There you go. There you go. 70. Still a little bit of leakage. Pretty good. Minimum 69.1. Much better than it was.